here and ready to go. 2-0 so far into this matchup. Terrorist side being, of course, Crispy, and under Lynx on their CT side. So, question is, was there a knife round?
No knife round in these matches.
Which means that Crispy decided to start on the T side because it's their map pick.
No,
vice versa,
Lynx
Lynx
decided to start on the CT side.
Yeah,
it looks like Crisp won the pistol and the follow-up, and now they've only got a saved MAC-10 and an AK. So they must have saved. That's what we saw. We saw them saving as we transitioned in, saving those two weapons. So they've got a little bit of an outside chance in this round. As we see some quick log A control, but meanwhile, the T's have ran into B. And what's going on here? Have they gambled correctly onto the B site?
I believe the word we could say here, Nicholas Friday, is baiting.
Baiting.
The first two players die. The rest of them are stuck, like deers in headlights. And then what that allows for is the CTs to push towards middle, go lower tunnels, come up from behind, as we saw the kill from Trials. With the MAC-10 finding two from behind, completely unaware. Were Crisp gamers.
Breeze has left a clutch in a 1v4. He's outside of the B doors. He gets spotted by Trials and taken down with a MAC-10 headshot. And Wonderlink's peach that third round against the odds. That saved MAC-10 has reaped quite some rewards there. That's a 1990s eco strategy. Show two people in the site and then, oh, hold on a second, there's actually five.
Exactly. You have someone, or the USPs, the people that don't have armor, baited in, they die. People think, oh, the site's clear now, going to rush you on MAC-10. And they walk into the infamous CZ.
We were doing that one back in the Dark Ages. It looks like Log A is the order of business here for Crisp, who are light on weaponry after dropping that round, but they've bought back into it. Trials, Cyber, and Trials yet again, taking down 3 quick frags. Looks like there's no nades being used. Of course, no money, so no nades to actually get them out of these long doors, and they've just been shut down at the choke point. And now it's Murky and Dexy have to decide whether they're going to try resave this, or if they're repositioning over to B, swing the bomb over to the B site, stopping to take the scenic route via mid, and they're actually separating the bomb over towards B site, right back patiently, waiting to receive them if they do come in that direction.
Yeah, obviously so far for the CT side, no real forward information. Ryback isn't pushed towards B tunnels, for example. Haven't seen the push through the long doors, which means that the CT side have no idea exactly where Dexy or Murky are, which could be their disadvantage if someone gets picked off. They come into the site, they take the site for their own, a 2 versus 3 or 2 versus 4, with an AWP and an afterplant, definitely can be feasible.
It's a game of patience. Now it looks like the pace has slowed down considerably. For some reason, they seem to have dropped the bomb at Suicide. Hopefully that's not visible to everyone, because that would be indeed, as the name suggests, Suicide. It looks like Murky has just slowed the pace right down with that AWP. It looks like they may be 30 seconds left in the clock. Maybe if they got offered a freebie by London Lynx, they might have decided to reevaluate and go for us, but looks like it's going to be some boring CS. It's probably in Lynx's best interest if they're aware that an AWP has been bought in to try and find it and take it back off them. Maybe even kill them after the timer, but it doesn't look like that's happening with too much enthusiasm. Looks like there's some browsing going on over towards the long doors, but everyone's being boring. It's not
boring indeed.
Boring Counter-Strike.
Do you know what's funny as well? We see Murky, Dexy both save, yet they have $0. The question is now, do the terrorist side force around the 2 save weapons, which they are, and I don't really agree with this. Typically we see an AWP AK save when there's cash in the bank already. For example, Murky would have $3,000, or Dexy had $2,500, they could drop over a Galil, an AK. Suddenly there's a 4-weapon buy, and this is a real buy. Instead, they're left with 3 pistols, AWP onto Murky, AK for Dexy, and if they lose this round as well, they're only digging their deficit deeper. And that could be an issue that arises if this round doesn't go in their favour.
Yeah, they really got to make sure they get some return on this investment, at 100%. Least take down 2 or 3 players. Otherwise, the CTs can start to build up a bank of money. It's really hard to get back into the game. So Murky has a lot of pressure on his shoulders. He really has to win the rounds here for Crisp. But it looks like they're slowing the pace down and taking control of the lower dark, lower mid area first. And perhaps going to see if Crizzy can work a pick outside of these mid doors. They're grouping up, and they haven't quite made their way through yet. The bomb is working its way towards Cat, while there's some presence in the B halls as well. So a bit of a default setup. They're going for the short control first, smoking off CT at the same time to see if they can pull that CT out of CT spawn to give themselves an easier route up Catwalk onto the A site. Breeze, what's Ryback doing there? Can he see through smokes? Is that a thing? I'm not sure. But it looks like they're showing some presence here. Breeze ready to see if he gets one easy pick onto the crouching Dexys, who works up. But Crizzy finds one out mid to B. Drops into CT spawn, in fact. But Trouble turns around from the B side and finds him. Murky, meanwhile, has found a kill onto Brody with the AWP. and they've now found themselves onto the A site in a 3v3 retake. Looks like we're being made a fools of. If they win this round, oh, Breeze with the 1D got into trouble as he tries to retake. He's playing that get-right lurk roll at mid. Tapping away from the pit is Cyber with the M4.
3 versus 2. Breeze on 17 HP. Murky down to 20 as well, but it doesn't seem to matter. One shot with the Deagle's going to be finding the head of Ryback and denying any chance of a backstab to come in through short. And now it leaves it all down to Cyber. And a task he cannot tackle. 3-2, and as you said, obviously, we're the ones left to be a fool here. Initially, it didn't make sense. I thought, okay, this is great from London Lynx. They have a very good CT side set up. They've left Charles alone in pit. They've got their AWPer towards car, which means their CT player, usually towards short, can now rotate CT and be a counter to this mid-split towards B. And that's where I really thought we were going to see Crisp Gamers go for the B split through middle, in towards lower tunnels with the pistols, get up close, but instead they made the smart decision to counter it, jump down CT, found the first kill, which basically opened up the whole round and cut the map in half, and Breeze had all the rotators, and that's basically the whole map cut in half in favor of the T's.
That's it, big boy Breeze hitting 2 huge 1Ds in the middle. Dexy opening this round up onto Brody and Catwalk, and they're again taking that fight around mid and splitting the map in half as you've said there, Snods. 3 good frags. 3 frags from Dexy. He's got all the kills so far in this round, and they're a similar structure, cutting the map in half. And seeing if they can split the CTs on 2 sides of the maps, and that's what on both sides of the map, and that's what they've done successfully at the moment. As Ryback has to try and make his way over to reunite with Trials back over on the A side, but he doesn't. Looks like he's a bit undecided what to do. Breeze, nothing but headshots from him so far, and it's a 5v1. Ryback gets one onto Breeze, gets revenge, but it looks like he might be forced to save that M4 as the plant goes down on A site.
Save indeed, coming out from Ryback.
Yeah, look, Breeze is almost playing a bit of a classic get-right role there as his team pressures onto the A side. That's right, lurking towards mid. Get-right, getting kills and rotators at lower dark. It's vintage, really. A bit Dust2 back in the map pool.
Well, obviously, that's where the old infamous, I say infamous, famous, are you kidding me? That kills on get-right, I believe. So
yeah, that's right.
Towards mid doors. All those moons ago. But scoreline is going to go 4-2 now. Crispy Gamers are going to be doubling the scoreline being put up by London Lynx early on. And actually this round could mean a lot more than just one extra round on the scoreboard. The reason being is the cash flow now for London Lynx. If they're sent into disarray, sent onto an eco, the lead that Crispy Gamers have may actually extend. As it will be the double op setup saved by Crispy, which is unorthodox on most maps, but on Dust2 it definitely can work.
It can.
Yeah.
Of course, they're a mixed team, and they brought 2 AWPers along, so both of them probably slightly unwilling to play on the rifle.
Do you know anything about this Dexy guy?
Well, I've sat behind him as he played against Ferrari Peakers, and he was hitting shot after shot after shot, and he seems to be continuing to do more of the same. That was Murky getting that kill. They were doing some interesting stuff. We saw them playing 2 AWPs on the A side of Cash, holding a double AWP A setup, which I can't say I've seen before, but it worked.
It worked very well versus...
I couldn't figure out why, but it worked.
Do you know what's funny? When I went over to Ferrari Peakers, I didn't know they lost. Right? And Dom said, God, we're such idiots, man. Why don't we just walk into AWPs every round on A? And in my head I was thinking, walking into AWPs, plural, on A. Well, my
trouble.
Goodness. Through the smoke, somehow he's connected that shot then onto Archer. Now to the 4 versus 4. It is Deacon coming out from the CT side, but we've already seen this round being won by the CTs. As Trouble goes for more, tries to get the hat-trick of frags towards the B-bomb site, but it's all down to Murky and Chrissy. The flames will extinguish Trouble's life, as now the advantage is only by 1.
The rotation comes in from Brody. He's going to push the smoke, work his way around the big box. Murky finds 1, but Brody cleans him up and defuses the bomb. That's looks like guns are proving to be a bit of a disadvantage so far in this game. That's the 2nd or 3rd round that's gone to the lighter bought team. That is sort of that's sort of Counter-Strike at the moment, isn't it? With the power of those CZs, a couple of Deagle headshots, and anything can happen. And the economy has been flipped yet again. I think Crisp still have a fairly decent buyout here, but the double AWPs. That's the danger of buying double AWPs as Ts, because if you die...
One up. I'm not sure if they picked one up.
Yeah, they did, that's what I'm saying. If you buy double AWPs on T side, you lose, then you're having to play into double AWPs, and that's exactly what's happened as Brody gets the first kill onto Murky with an AWP at long doors. And this could be very hard to break now without set pieces as a mixed team breaking a double AWP setup can be incredibly, incredibly difficult. It'll hurt even more knowing that they gave them that second AWP.
Well, it gets even worse than that, right? Typically, when we think of Counter-Strike in a textbook, how do you counter AWPs? With utility, with executions. Dust 2, this map came out 2 weeks ago. How many pop flashes are there? How many executions are there really? 1, you're a mix. 2, you're players that are inexperienced. You know, where do you learn these flashbangs? Where do you learn these, you know, intricate smokes? You learn these on higher profile teams. As a mix, as inexperienced players, are they going to know the best utility usage? We're not sure. Hopefully they can prove us wrong here, Nicholas.
Well, the other option for playing against AWPs is to rush B. That's the other approach. Try take a faster approach and try to limit the AWPs to 1 frag, perhaps as they hit the site. Ryback doesn't have an AWP. He gets found out by Crizzy on the B site, and they're in. They've got themselves through the doors, and now it's a 4v4 retake. They smoke and molly out the choke points and get the bomb down, and they can set themselves up. The double AWPs, which were once such an advantage on the CT side of Dust 2, and now mean that you're having to retake with 2 AWPs on the B side, and that is no bueno.
No easy feat at all. Breeze here once again going to be locking down middle, but this time from a different angle. He's not cutting off the rotations. He's denying the retake, and from behind, it's actually no Crizzy on the side. Breeze from behind finally strikes and delivers pain from behind. It's the hat trick from the rear. No one from London Lynx expecting the attack on the wing as they're caught by the Dawn of Dust, or Dust of Dawn, whichever the saying is. I can't remember. That's one for later on.
I'm not sure either. Breeze is having a game.
You never heard that attack on Dawn? 6 AM?
No, Breeze has just shot his teammate there.
Oh, I missed that one.
Oh, you see, Murky's on 92 health. That was the AK of Breeze that's caused that. Not sure what's going on. Double AWP back on the T side. It's just exchanging hands, trading cryptocurrency, trading AWPs. That's what we're seeing.
All that's in my YouTube advertisements at the moment is, did you know about this new cryptocurrency that can be diluted into 5 different things, and you can be a shareholder as well? Brilliant,
that's
mate.
it. AWP coin, I think we'll call it. We're going to make millions.
Hey.
We got a sneaky boost here up from Trials to find Crizzy up on Catwalk, and yet again the team with the lesser buy is ahead 4v3. The pace is a little bit slower this time, so the T's have some time to regather their thoughts. The bomb is still at top mid. They don't really have any map control. Breeze is working around long A here. He's sort of been the star of the show so far. He needs to see if he can find Trouble here at long A pit. Trouble taps away onto Breeze's head, and now it's into a 4v2. Dexy, meanwhile, pinning, waiting for a teammate to reinforce Trouble, but it's just not happening. Trials finds one on the CZ. Trouble, another headshot onto Dexy. And we're playing ping pong here. I'm getting a sore neck watching it go back and forth. Are the double AWPs back on the CT side?
No. Oh, no. Swaps out the M4 for the AK. Although Cyber.
What's Cyber got?
What's he got? M4, okay. Swaps over the M4 with Trouble, so
we're finally seeing a genuine eco here, and I think it is the classic, the original and the best, the butt rush B. A Molotov from Ryback spoils the fun a little bit, and now we just have a blob of terrorists in the upper tunnels waiting to see what's what, whether or not they choose to re-aggress. Arch tries to show some presence over towards Catwalk. Smoke seems to be no issue for Trials, as the terrorists come flooding into the crosshair of Ryback and Trouble, who mop things up without too much of a fuss. And finally, we seem to have some established control as London Lynx have a bit of money in the bank. Scores are still tied at 5-all, so from a scoring perspective, it's pretty tight. And another force spy coming in. Wow, who's the economic manager here? Brody, the AWP onto Dexy, onto Suicide, trying to get up fast. Catwalk gets punished for it. That's an early man disadvantage for Chris.
yeah, Murky having the good spawn towards A-Long. Gets modded out towards A-Long, so can't go for that pick. Means his teammates can be exploited by Suicide. Oof.
So that was a sneaky play. It's Breeze. Oh, gee whiz, Breeze is having a good game. That's a sneaky move. That I always see French teams do that. That sort of that smoke halfway up mid, and the CT's aggressing to peek into lower dark. And if you're a terrorist, you're just a little bit lazy. You forget about that possibility. Maybe you haven't had an AWP spotting mid. You haven't called all. They could be lower dark, and then you just get caught with your trousers around your ankles in lower dark. And that's exactly what's happened. But Murky's found a pick onto Brody onto the onto the A side. I don't know. I was looking at your lovely face nods. It looks like they're working up Catwalk with that bomb, and it's going to be another 3v3 retake, but long control here for London Lynx. Trials working its way up CT, and Murky's left alone with the AWP on the A ramp. The bomb's left on the site, but it's not planted. The digits haven't been pinned in yet. And Ryback is fast flanking. Murky's going to have to get one before Ryback arrives. Oh, catches him through the edge of the wall. And now he seems to be aware of where Ryback is, but he doesn't have much health to work with, only 2 health points. In fact, the bomb isn't down. 35 seconds to work with. Murky creeping up on Ryback, spots his right shoulder and takes it off. Murky's got to be pleased with that. And again, we're going 1 for 1. How many is that in a row? Can we press tab and find out? Look at that. Oh no, it's not 1, 2, 2, 1. No one can get a string of rounds going. And the force battle's going to continue. We have the Lils, we have Famuses. It's a messy old game of Counter-Strike.
Very messy indeed. Murky, 2 HP. Obviously the right angled peak has the advantage. Ryback sees him after Murky does. So poor decision there holding that angle potentially, but obviously he didn't know that Murky would get that aggressive. And aggression with the orbs. This time it does turn into the 4 versus 4. Going to be leaving Trials alone towards A long. Once again, they have possession towards CT, but the problem is this leaves A site completely exposed. Trials caught in transition, trying to get back onto the A site and salvage it. But unfortunately, timing did not go in his favor as the T's pounced before he could even rotate. 6-5 on the scoreboard, and this could be the save call here from London Lynx. They cannot afford to be economically reset.
Right, epic anomaly. We are in epic land, of course. Archer flashing himself into short, finds one. I don't know if he knows that CT is there. That corner is a lot deeper than it was on the original iteration of Dust 2. You can sort of tuck yourself into that corner where you couldn't previously, and it looks like that's managed to keep Cyber alive for a little bit longer than expected. But Archer and Dexy clean up the retake. I'm not sure quite why that was attempted without either control of long or short. But that puts London Lynx firmly on eco, and against the odds, it looks like Crisp are getting themselves a lead in this game. Snods, how are you finding Dust 2's playing out? T-sided, CT-sided?
Very CT-sided at the moment.
CT-sided, you reckon? So wow, 7 rounds is they've got to be happy with that.
I was actually going to bring this up earlier when it was 5-5. Yes, the scoreline's equal. Yes, both teams have 5 rounds each. But in terms of how it's favoured, I believe it is a CT 9-6. I don't know how you feel about it personally. Have you watched? I imagine you would have watched Dust 2 demos.
Of course. I think we need more data. Really, we need more data. That's all I can say. As the eco from London Lynx gets pretty comprehensively cleaned up.
So far, I've only seen a couple Dust 2s from Astralis, I've seen 2 from Mouse Sports, and obviously there's the big clan one as well when they were 11-4 down. T side, they go CT side, end up winning it versus Windigo. It's one of these maps where the double op setup on the CT side, if used well, emphasis on if used well, is extremely potent. Orb towards middle, playing rotating towards B. Then you have the orb towards A long, you can play rotate towards short as well once long controls in there from a rifle. And it's very hard because initially at the beginning of Dust 2, there weren't those intricate pop flashes that we saw in the last one. Pop flashes for A short, pop flashes towards B, pop flashes towards A long. Yes, now they're there. But it took a while. It took a few weeks, and I think coming into the next weeks, it will be more evened out. Obviously, people have now found out the mid to B smokes. Astralis had a smoke mid B where they did the normal mid B smoke, but they also threw a smoke on the ledge of the box.
That was an option in the old iteration as well, but that came very late into the meta as well. So someone's obviously been doing their homework. My feeling is that the answer as to which side Dust 2 is might be different for amateur level Counter-Strike than it is professional level Counter-Strike. So maybe 8-5 scoreline isn't quite as scary for London Lynx as it might be if we were watching the very top level of CS. Not that London Lynx aren't an excellent team, Snods, but it looks like we're going to see a bit of a light execute onto the B-bomb site. Archer in trouble, exchange kills. Ryback pops up from fence, but Dexy knocks him back down, and the bomb's plan is going to go in, and we have another 4v3 and a very difficult retake for Lynx.
This right here is a perfect example of professional versus amateur Dust 2 play. Break it down here because one of the things that was very important when watching Dust 2 from the professionals was the anchors. When you have Dust 2, yes, mid control is massive, having CT control is big, short as well. But for me, it's really down to the anchor towards A long and the anchor towards B. Why? Their jobs are not to get 5 kills. Their jobs are to buy 5 seconds. And this is the thing we don't see in amateur level, is the idea that the anchor players, the role players, are there to delay, to buy time for the CTs to rotate in. Perfect example there. They have no information. They don't use any counter grenades once the grenades are thrown out from the T's. They get swamped upon. It's a 4 versus 3, and the T's are left somewhere in disarray in middle towards A. They're not in perfect positions. Well, speaking of good positions here,
his new car position, and the Deagle headshot comes in. That's 2 from him. Knocks it back down into a 2v3. Dexy, meanwhile, is working his way out to the long doors with the AWP, where he opts against it. Little does he know that that's actually unguarded by Lynx at the moment. Ryback watching that short catwalk position with the CZ, and they opt to try and recover some guns from long A. He only finds himself a UMP. That's a little bit disappointing. That's not great thrift shopping from him. There should be an AK somewhere around that area. And there's a little bit of a lull as the T's try to figure out what's just happened to them, or what's Brody just done to them. They have to recover the bomb, of course. That's going to be very, very difficult with an AWP in pit. I'm not even sure if it's worth attempting. It's the last round. I just realised it's the last.
It's gone so fast, mate. It's gone so fast when you're having fun.
Let's, yes, time flies when you're having fun. They've supposed to recover the bomb. If they could get away,
oh my goodness,
wow, they've gotten away with murder here. How have they recovered that bomb? They've given themselves an outside chance. Lynx, please. The flash comes in from Dexy. That allows him to reposition to get onto short. They do have 2 Molotovs on Brody in trouble, so they could find themselves isolated. Oh, they've forgot what side they're on. They've just Molotov the bomb. Ryback is in a very, very powerful position, but Murky is wise to the fact, and they find themselves a 2v2, and now they've wasted their Molotovs. Oh, Dexy misses the AWP shot, but they have no Molotov. Oh, they've got no kiss either. What is going on? Brody finds one. He's still got 5 seconds on the clock. Brody saves the round. London Lynx, that was messy as all heck.
They've absolutely bricked it. Absolutely bricked it.
So you professional casters have a rough time because there was a lot going on there.
In what sense? As in trying to work out what the hell was going on?
What was going on? Why did they Molotov the bomb?
I imagine they thought that there was someone hiding behind single or double box.
Right.
But the thing is, which blew my mind, was Dexy's holding a great angle. He misses the quote-unquote easy shot with the flick up. He's on 12 HP. He can't go for that repeat. And if he does, one shot from an AK, he peeks into an AWP. And there is that delay as you cock the gun. There's no retry coming out from Ryback, so a bit of a delay between the frags. But anyway,
we have a rush speed. The CT's coming in with their headshots, but they return for Trouble and Cyber. And we have another after-fun situation on the B bomb site. The bomb goes down at default. The retake is coming in quicker than perhaps expected from tunnels, but Cyber with a nice tap onto Breeze.
Oh,
and yet another one onto Crizzy. He's having a nice round. Is that 3 kills for him so far? It is. And it's down to just Dexy, who's had some good frags so far. But this is a tall order. Is there a kit inside the site? I'm not sure. He's working his way in the oh, that's great bait and switch from D. That's textbook.
We call it the 1-2.
The 1-2.
The 1-2.
The quick 1-2. Easy done. That's the pistol round then for Lynx. That's going to, if they don't give up the ecos here, bring them back in.
17 kills for Murky.
Wow, Murky. Considering how important the double AWP is. Do you really want him buying a scout here? Is this going to be worth it? I'm not sure.
Has he been dropped the scout by Dexy?
No, he's boarded himself.
Wow, Dexy's actually the one saving for the AWP as
the
well.
One
How
saving.
interesting.
But he's left 1,000 back, I guess. So it looks like a glob of players working up short here. Manages to escape Breeze. I'm not sure how he's done that. But some pace employed here by Lynx using the SMGs. Fairly elementary. Breeze seeing a few heads popping up from over the edge of the balcony, but Cyber puts it back into the round. Cleans up another kill at short, and Murky with that scout hasn't really managed to get anything done. They didn't come his way, of course, so he's going to save it and see if he can reinvest it into the next round to see if he can get something done there, running way back to T-Spawn, of course. Right.
Right, indeed. I mean, pistol 1 from London Lynx. They needed that pistol to really come back into this game. You know, when you look at a few of the players on this team, especially Ryback, you're looking as well towards Trials. I'm not too sure about Brody, more of an unknown quantity, but in terms of mental fortitude, those are players that get frustrated. Those are players that get, excuse my French, pissed off during losses. You're agreeing as if you know from personal experience, but
well, I think Brody and Trials, it would be fair to say they could get a little bit.
I don't know Brody. I've never played a Brody.
No, well, look at it. It's that youthful exuberance, isn't it?
Yes, the vitality of life.
But they have the experience of Cyber and to Trouble to keep them level-headed. They have a game plan, so it's a good mixture of youth as Murky tags Cyber peeking down into the mid doors. But the call has been that no one has crossed B. And that B side is free, and Murky gets Trials crossing, but B side, besides that frag, was free, and it should be pretty easy to hold out the USBs. Murky tried to do some sort of crazy 360 through the door, but gets stuck on the door, and he's back outside again. Door was actually locked. He's going to try again through the window. Let's see if he can find another one of those juicy headshots, jiggling back and forward here. Not Lynx are being fairly disciplined and not giving him anything to work with. Probably just a case here for Crisp to see if they can borrow one of those guns to take into the first buy round. But I think Lynx will be pretty keen on not giving any of them up. Brody, that's just an SMG, wasn't it? Just giving up an SMG. They're exiting out towards mid here. Archer's going to lose his scout rather. And that's the scores level 9 apiece.
Murky, dead on point for the AWP if he wants to bring it out into the first buy round into the second half.
Can you get it with armor?
Go for the M4 though. What was that?
No armor on Dexy with the AWP. He's got on the glass cannon.
This is the thing that annoys me, is when players buy CZ after not getting a kill on the pistol. Only buy the CZ, only buy the Deagle if you're the AWPer. If you get a frag, you have enough money for the AWP and Kevlar. But nevertheless, early tag through the doors. On towards Murky, going towards B. And already an exchange of life towards A long. It's going to be Crizzy falling down short to Ryback. But in the process, 2 frags were found. 4 versus 3 now, in favour of the CT side. As we
What's this smoke?
For, I imagine, CT.
No, is it CT or for short?
I think it's CT, but who
CT?
knows? Maybe it's short as well.
I'm not sure.
That was
I'm making notes in my strat book now as we speak.
Yeah.
I'll have to send that one off to the lab to see.
Your team is called Devious?
Devious.
Devious.
That's right. Let's not talk about my team. There are more interesting and more talented players at this event than my team. That was a little bit embarrassing. Never mind.
It's fine. 55 seconds here as the bomb makes its way back towards T-spawn. On the lurk, this time it's going to be trouble to feel the wrath of Archer, who's pushed up towards short. And this is something we never really saw from London Lynx on their CT side, was CT side aggression. And this is one of the issues that can arise when you don't push aggressively on the CT side. You're left at the hands of your opposition because you have no information, you have no idea where the T's are. But Crispy Gamers, as the mix, the pressure's off their shoulders, and they can go for these audacious pushes. As words are hard, and so is entering in towards the B-bomb side, but Ryback makes it look easy.
That's it. There's Murky gets the bomb crossing, and now Brody rather has to scramble to plant the bomb. And will they decide to push him while that bomb is being planted? No, in case it was a fake, of course. The nade comes in for Brody, doesn't really do much damage onto Archer waiting outside of the doors. But it looks like if they time this correctly, it's going to be impossible for Brody to hold all 3. He exchanges places, he goes to the door, gives himself an outside bounce. Breeze is wise to it though, gets the headshot, and the round is theirs. The first buy round going to Crisp, taking the lead once again. There are of course different philosophies on how to play the CT side of Dust 2. If a team's a little bit, if they're organised enough, they can sort of play that retake style on A, where they can either say, okay, we'll have long A control, or we'll have short control. We'll give you the site if you want to take it, as long as we have a platform to retake. But when you're a mix, it's a little bit difficult to communicate what style you're going to play, and maybe some more aggressive, some more pick style plays would be beneficial if you're a mixed team that hasn't discussed the ins and outs of how you're going to coordinate that defense. Yeah, I mean, let's be frank. Are Crispy Gamers trying to take it down to a T where they have certain retake positions worked out? If they take a site through a long, we play short or we play CT. We play long or we play short. Vice versa. Very unlikely to see. It doesn't have to be textbook. They just have to.
Even here, they have given up long and they have got short control. So maybe actually they could be proving us wrong here.
I mean, Archer is an IGL himself, so they obviously have some idea of what's going on.
Good on the dance floor.
Good on the I haven't had the pleasure.
Well, maybe if they lose this one, you might.
I'll buy him a drink and see what I can get done. Dexy playing from Goose finds the first kill onto Travelers. Lynx try to push up against that wall at long A. Looks like they've formed a bit of a smoke vault across. That requires 3 smokes now. Trials getting a pick onto Dexy on site, and now it's a 4v4. Now, we did talk about you having short control as a platform for the retake, and that's exactly what's going on here. There's 2 players at short, and now they actually have a bit of a structure from which they can retake this site. They do, of course, have to wait out that smoke grenade before things can start happening, and it's whether or not they all have the patience and have enough time left on the clock. 4v4 into 1 players. Archer finds the first one on ramp, and that could unleash Bedlam. Oh, yes, the players are pushing onto site from short, and Oh, it all happened. It all happened so quickly. Trials has done exceptionally well there. I think that was the right philosophy. That's what we talked about. We talked about holding that short A control and giving them a platform to retake the site. Looks like they coordinated it well enough, but Trials just killed everyone. That's the beauty of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, actually, almost serendipity there that they had such a good counter to that setup. Having one player towards Goose, player towards the ramp as well, to have that crossfire when the CTs do push up. But into this round here, round number 21, early T aggression is met by success as they do find 2 early frags from Ryback and both Brody. Killer piece as it is the 5 versus 3. And now for the CTs, hurling their way towards the A site, trying to scramble a kill or two as they have gone to the fourth. But Murky with these incredibly flamboyant headshots with the scout. They will go 1 for nothing. And it's all down to Breeze. The force buy was futile. As now the money, I imagine, for the CTs is going to look rather horrendous.
They're skint.
And this is now the breakout for London Lynx. It's going to go 11-10. Should be the eco now for like the CTs. 12-10. And then suddenly they have the 2-run advantage after being down 9-6.
Now, a lot of the success from Crisp have come from that double AWP of Murky and Dexy. When you're 11-10 down, probably later in the tournament they might be fair that they expected to be. Do they have the discipline to do the 2 ecos required to get that double AWP back out? Probably not.
Yeah, right now Dexy has 2.4k, so he will have...
They can't afford AWPs on the next... Oh, Dexy can.
Dexy can, yeah.
Only one. Or at least they'll have one.
He will have Kevlar this time as well, so he may have learned from his former mistakes. But yeah, so far, push towards lower tunnels. Where on earth?
They might get caught. They might get caught in the back. Archer finds trouble taking a snooze at Xbox. I'm not exactly sure what was going on there, but they found themselves on the B site. Are they going to be aware of how fast this rotation is coming in from Murky? He's only got a USP, so it's going to be quite elementary for Ryback to take him down and to hold that off. He drops the smoke behind him, and the Molotovs come in at window, the smoke comes in at door, and the site is on lock. No real possibility. Archer is obviously going to be pretty interested to save that AK and that Molotov, which is effectively worth $600 dues to him. Because the CT one costs 600, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm sure.
It does. 400 for T, yeah.
So that's a fair bit of utility Archers, a fair bit of value Archers is packing in his pocket. That's why he's hiding in a corner while his teammates trying to snap up some exit frags. But they're exiting as a pack, so that's going to be pretty unlikely, I would imagine. And a 2-round lead opens up for London Lynx, and it remains to be seen whether Crisp have any depth left in their tank, any alternate approaches that they can take to stop
the caster quotes are coming out.
Really?
Can they still make it back? Is there still a chance?
I'm a natural.
There you go. Completely natural.
I think there is, though. I mean, they've shown a fair bit of grit to get this far. I don't think they're done yet. Might be a little bit of good fortune, depending on how many kills can happen on the B bomb site. We're watching on the B map here as Murky fights his way out. Oh, he managed to get 2 out of car.
No delay.
There's no delay, no utility. No utility. That's what happens when you keep forcing. There's no Molotov to drop. There's no smoke to drop. There's no counter flash that comes in. But the retake comes in before the bomb's even down. Breeze finds his way behind Trials, but Trials swivels. Oh, he does a ballerina twirl and manages to take Breeze's head off. He'll be pretty pleased with that. And now it's Dexy left with only his AWP, and he looks like he's opting to save that. Yet again, there's only so many times you can save the AWP before you've lost the game. So at some point, you're going to have to start going for these. Because what they lose this, what do? They force into it. They eco. That's 14.
Well,
at some point, you got to try. At some point, you got to try.
1.4, 1.9, 2.4.
Nothing.
2.9k run loss bonus now. So in terms of buying, I mean, it's going to be roughly $3,000 across the board. Maybe one player 4.5. Yeah, $3,000, 4,000 down to Chrissy. So you imagine they save here. Allow for a 14 to 10. They have the cash now to go for the CZ Kevlar, so they can try and have a game plan or a gambit around that.
What's the loss bonus? They're on max loss bonus.
No, they're on nearly max. They're on 2.9k.
They'll get the 3,400
next round. Yeah, if they lose
round.
this one, it's 3.4.
3.4. 3.4. My accountant will talk to your accountant, but they can afford. What my point is, they can afford to maybe buy half arm or a pistol around this AWP, sort of like hedging their bets a little bit. They can buy it lightly around this AWP, give themselves an outside chance, but still be able to get a fairly decent buy on the next round. It looks like the tactical pause. I'm going to assume a tactical pause. I've no reason to say that, but Trouble's looking
and
into
now this
the,
is
into the ground.
The best bit of casting, mate. You're witnessing it here already. The pauses.
Yeah.
The worst of the saves, because you have to try and fill.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be quite difficult when nothing's happened. If it's an eco, for example, nothing's happened at all. But now we go into the pause, and this is where we ask the chat questions, as we are very interactive here at Epicland. So for the chatters out there in the Twitch chat, if you've got any questions for B Magic, send them my way.
Well, I've seen one. Sniffle is asking, is that the Nick Friday?
Nicholas Friday.
Nicholas
better,
B Magic Friday.
Nicholas B Magic
is my
Friday.
full name. That is my official title. Savior of Epic Land 24.
The Crusader of Epic Land.
Crusade.
That's a good one. That's actually a good one. The Crusader of Epic Land.
There's a second question I'm seeing there. Where is Zio? Zio, I played with Zio at this event. For Zio's sins. He's looking well. I can tell you that. Looking shredded.
Obviously, all year round. Of course.
Permanently
It's a lifestyle.
Shredded. This is a lifestyle, and he does very,
very well.
very
It's not just a diet. It's not just a fad for him.
It's a cheat weekend this weekend, and I can tell you on good authority that
He's
the man
been through
can
a few
eat
Jaffa
can eat a fair quantity of food.
He can.
A whole chicken at Nando's. I'm told.
Oh
I
my
just
goodness.
Nando's probably panicked when they saw him walk through the door, having to order in extra stocks of chicken. Gee whiz! But he works hard for it. He does. He's yes. We had a good laugh this event.
No questions. No questions from the chat. You're really letting me down here, boys.
First or second map? Asks Karma. Wow.
First map.
Is the first map.
Next
this
map's
is the
Inferno. Last map is Overpass.
Overpass. This is the pick of
Crispy.
Crisp, who managed to win against Ferrari Peakers.
Yes.
16-14 on this map.
Oh, okay. Obviously,
16.
I saw the cash was like 16-7 or something.
Yeah. No, there was a map in the middle as well, I think. Yeah, it wasn't a 2-0. I'm not sure.
Literally, I walked through the door and they were out.
At least try to pretend you know what's going on.
Yeah, it was a close game. It was a very close best of 3. Still waiting for the pause.
Wonder if it's Oh no. That was just auto director. Decided
oh, look, you got a little fan in the chat. Look at them. Look at this little fan in the chat. Karma, wow.
That's a nice knife. That's controversial. Can we talk about controversial topics? He's not going to be able to sell that knife anymore, is he?
Do you know what? When I heard about the news, I was very, very happy.
Oh, I'm happy as well.
I'm very happy.
I'm a Counter-Strike traditionalist.
I don't buy... Listen, I've had the same skins for years on some of my guns. And I've always wanted the Medusa. And I've always wanted the M4 Poseidon. And now when the news came out about OP skins going and Valve cracking down on skins, the price is going to crash. So I was a very happy man.
I don't...
Favourite spot in Leicester? Well, let's answer the first question first. Nicholas Friday, why are you such a smart and keen gamer?
Well, I can't answer that question, but I'd like to make sure you... smart, keen, and good-looking.
I'll give you that one. Beard game's on point. A little bit
rough around the edge. I'm still waiting to completely go through puberty. It will happen any year now.
That's the thing. If you had the full beard, it would be on point. But
that's it. I feel like if I went the full beard, Chad Sponge Birchall might think I'm like trying to steer his.
Because there's
it just doesn't grow there.
Oh.
It doesn't grow. I'll get some of that cream that you can rub in to make it grow.
Well, that's what obviously the marketers want you to know.
Does that work? Does it work?
I don't know.
Let me know in the chat if you've tried.
Favourite spot in Leicester. Have you been to Leicester?
Where is Leicester?
Leicester
being
is
an Aussie, I don't know.
20 minutes, 30 minutes from Derby, hour and a half from London up north. It's where ESO UK is.
Is it nice? A nice part of the world?
It's quite nice.
Oh, we're back.
It's quite nice. Best place in Leicester for food is... there's 2 places I'll go back to. Mission Burrito. Anyway, already the B-Rush coming in towards the aforementioned P-bomb site. Entry frag by Archer. The Molotov was there, but the Molotov didn't quite work out. Dished out too late. Now it might even be a forced savior from the CT sellers. They have gone for the force buy into this round to Nicholas Friday, otherwise known as B-Magic. And right now, CT's going to need some magic.
Wow, I don't know who's paused. I'm going to assume it was Crisp that have paused there to try to decide whether or not they're force buying into the round. They've decided to, after a 2, 3, 4 minute pause, which is of course much longer than the pause duration that you get in the pro matches. It's not that 30-second quick pause. You stay paused for a long period of time, then all of a sudden the B-Rush comes out, and your decision's been proved wrong in about 30 seconds. I imagine hugely frustrating. They've got to save all 3 of these guns, otherwise they're toast. They've got to make sure that they get something to bring into the next round.
What'd you
Otherwise,
put in a toaster?
bread. I had to think
smart
about
and keen. Smart and keen.
and keen
Sharp.
and good looking.
Yeah. Magical 3.
Right. Well, at least look, they've got the max loss bonus, which means they can buy some more Is it Famuses or is it Fami?
Famos. No, Famas. Definitely Famas.
Famus. I didn't know what the plural was.
Famases.
Famuses, not Fami. All right. I thought it might be.
It's like dice and die.
Yes. Yes, they can buy some of them anyway. They've got a fair bit of utility. Murky hanging around CT Spawn with the ult manages to punish Trials as he goes for a dander out middle. And the pressure is coming in onto the B side, but the execute has been cancelled by a smoke grenade, and that's good trading of utility. That's that delay counter-strike that we're talking about. Tries to flash himself through, and Archer is waiting to receive them with one of these Fami. Gets 3 kills. Brody dancing around the smoke, gets 1, gets a second, gets a third! No scope, my wordly Worthington Breezy quickly to rescue the situation from lower tunnels. And wow, Brody, is he even their AWPer? I'm not sure if he is.
I think he's the... No, who is their AWPer? Trouble? Trouble's their AWPer. Trouble was the old AWPer in London Lynx before.
Maybe he's retired the AWPer to the young
Fearless.
blood of...
Maybe.
No, Fearless would have been the AWPer on that team. I don't know. I need to read up on my Counter-Strike history. But Crisp, back in it, back on the bye, 11-14. They're going to have to string a few rounds together, but they will be buoyed by that success. And they've upgraded their Famuses to M4, so I wonder where they've... I suppose when you're on 14, you may as well spend all the money that you've got. And they're going to have to see if Lynx can... They've got to win this round, of course, otherwise they're reset, and that's GG,
that's game
as
over.
the kids say.
Exactly.
But Murky positioning himself here. So that's that. Breeze is going to find himself against 4. There's a gap in that CT smoke. He's going to be able to look up, go for that box and actually get a few kills in the back before they get onto the B site. Archer manages to find one of the Molotov. 4 gets 2, 3, 4. And the 4. He doesn't get all 5, but that's, just counting. I'm good at that. But that was a complete shutdown. Breeze must have been doing damage over that. Was that smoke wonky? I think that smoke was wonky.
I think the smoke
Can you still see over it?
Yeah, that's what happens. That's why you need that
the second
smoke.
one, was it Estrada?
Glaive through it, yeah.
Glaive.
Clever
man.
It lands on the ledge of the box, and that way that you can't see
completely blocked. And of course, it's much easier to get up on that box now. It used to be a little pixel jump.
Now
they've provided a nice, convenient, disabled access up on that pallet, where you can just jump up without too much difficulty.
If you are in a wheelchair, of course.
Yes, wheelchair access.
14-12 as we head into the 27th round. Buys from both teams as this game comes within touching distance. And speaking of touching distance, the T's are right up close to the CTs.
And Breeze gets stuck blind in that corner. That corner
he should be playing counter flash if his teammates there.
It's also a lot shallower than it used to be. It used to be a tuck, get right in there, but he was a lot shallower and he gets found out and he gets punished for it. And the quick reposition from London Lynx coming to the B side. Archer there to the rescue. He beats London Lynx in, but Trouble manages Ryback. Trouble manages to find his head, and Trouble finds one of his own. And it is a 4v2 retake now, and I think there's going to be no choice but to save the ult in the M4. Dexy might see if he can get a freebie, but London Lynx are probably going to be more disciplined. In fact, London Lynx are probably going to be inclined to try and take those guns out of the hands of the Crisp players, well knowing that if they do so, it's going to be very, very close to good game. Dexy turns around and finds Trouble, but the chase is on. Cue the Benny Hill music. There's a button I can press to play Benny Hill music. I'm not sure.
The sad thing is, I've heard that saying so many times in casting. I don't know if Benny
I
Hill
thought I was being original.
No, I've actually heard it quite a bit. I don't even know what it means.
The Benny Hill music. I won't try sing it for you. Dexy is doing incredibly well, by the way. He's managed to find 2 on this chase, but at least he's going to save the AWP into the next round and give them the outside chance. Of course, match point here for London Lynx. Benny Hill music is the old sort of American folk music when there's a chase going.
I get you.
That's what that is. It's when there's sort of chaos going on. It's a bit of a chase. Anyway.
I mean, it slipped past my mind, but many things do. Well, into the 15th here for
Match
London
points.
Lynx. Obviously, 3 match points here for the T side. In terms of cash as well, there is some buy to be put up by the CTs. Double up setup once again. Basically, the narrative of this whole matchup so far. But the salient point has been that these double AWP setups have been futile here for Crisp Gamers. They had it on the T side, didn't really work out for them. They just handed over the AWPs to the CTs. And now conversely, the tides are turned on their CT side. Can they make it work? Murky definitely has done. In terms of kills and firepower, he's up there at 23. But Dexy, 15 kills, but the AWPs haven't really been too salient from him so far. Expected a bit more. As you said, he was hitting shots earlier versus Ferrari. Pika is definitely a name to look out for the future in terms of UKCS talent. However, we come into the crunch time of this round here. Is this the final one we see? Will we see a 29?
Gets caught absolutely out in the open there, and there's nothing that can really be done once they're around that corner. You've got nowhere to hide in that long A corridor. You just caught and fragged pretty much, and that's what's happened. So it's now down to Archer and Dexy, who are trying to retake the A site to try and bring this game into the match. It gets traded 1-1 by Charles. Dexy finds a nice frag onto Ryback. He's brought it down into 1v2. Tries to get in front of the Molotov, but Brody takes him down through the corner of the wall, and that is 16-2 to London.